Good morning, family, and welcome to another amazing time. The time now is 11 o'clock, and I believe that you all are blessed and are well rested. Today, literally, is going to be a drive-through, and promise you that it's going to be a conversation that is going to be very interesting, thought-provoking in terms of the different cadres of levels of business that each and every one of us we currently are operating into. And I think one of my biggest desire is to see that at the end of this very particular broadcast, you might be able to look at the level of your business or the profession in which you're currently handling in these very particular 5 cadres that I'm going to be talking about. Because whether we like it or not, every one of us will fall in between these. And for me, at the end of this very particular show, I'm hoping that you would not just be at the first, second, or third, or fourth. You grow to become the 5th point that I'm going to be talking about. And so, on today's conversations, because I choose to be able to have conversation, it has been titled The 5 Level of Enterprise Maturity. The 5 levels of enterprise maturity. So there are 5 levels in which each enterprise literally operates from. And whether we like it or not, these levels varies what's called from different kind, different sect, different people, different industry you find yourself. And hear me, in each of these very particular 5 I'm going to be mentioning, and I'm going to be given a good explanation as to how each and every one of it operates, so that it's quite easy for you to be able to enjoy this. And so, like I said, the 5 level of enterprise maturity, and so we're going to be looking at it as a pyramid. So number 1, when we talk about this very particular maturity or this 5 level of enterprise, number 1, we have what we call the professionals. The professionals. So these professionals, now this is what they do. The professionals, they earn through skill and knowledge. They earn through skill and knowledge. And so a professional is trained in a specific field, offering expertise in exchange for pay. They are trained in a specific field. For example, you'll find the professionals, for example, somebody who is literally, that you can bracket as a professional. These are people whereby all they do is the fact that they are skilled at what they are doing. For example, you might want to call Echo standing there, who is an editor. Echo is a professional editor. Echo is a professional cinematography. And so because of that, he is skilled and knowledgeable in that very particular place. Now, the thing there you must understand in terms of the key focus of a professional is the fact that they are competent, credible, and consistent in performance. We can also see the advantage of these very particular guys, because these are the things I want you to see, then I will expatiate more about it. You can also see the key advantage of these professionals is the fact that they have predictable income and personal reputation. It has nothing to do with the business. It has everything to do with them. Everything to do with them. So for example, now you meet an editor. This is an editor you meet, or probably you go to Fiverr. Fiverr is one of the popular sites where a lot of people, if you want to look for skills or probably just want to look for talent that can be able to do something for you, you go there, you search for lack of a better word, a graphic designer. The graphic designer, you chat to the person, you give him your concept, and the next minute, do you know that before you literally engage that graphic designer, the first thing you do is the fact that you read at the comment or probably the reviews that people have given to this very particular, because it's not the business, it's the person. Now, the disadvantage of this very particular thing is the fact that they are time-bound earning. So which means if they are not present, which means the business or what they are doing is going to fail. Or for example, let's say they are sick at the hospital. They have 1 or 2 challenges, because the business is limited to just they themselves, which is for professional. Yes, you can still look at it as a business, because it will tell you that it's a business or it's an entrepreneur. So because of that, on that very, and see, hear me, it's quite different from a self-employed. A professional is different from a self-employed. A consultant that you go meet, that you are consulting about your tax, is a professional consultant. The person you go meet that you are going to talk to about your, for example, you're consulting about your health challenge, that professional doctor you are seeing. Now, that professional is literally operating with a limitation of time. So which means it's not even free. Because as long as people are still clamoring to get his services, he is literally not free, which means he's literally time bound. And so the opportunity in the fact is the fact that transition into consultancy and also freelance work. I know a couple of my friends whereby all they are doing is just a consulting business and stuff. So you will hear Darlington Steve Consulting. It's just Darlington Steve that is doing it. What's it called? You will hear that, okay, I'm a freelancer. I work with XYZ. For instance, Echo can wake up one morning and say, okay, he wants to open an Echo Consulting. In the Echo Consulting, he can consult for ESCOM, it's not ESCOM, NEPA. He can consult for NEPA. He can consult for, okay, the NEPA, you guys are having problem with your light and stuff. Let me help you edit your light. Or he can then go consult from Extend Young, a financial company, to say, okay, because why? He is a professional on that very particular space. So many of us, literally, we think that because we are a professionals, we think that we are self-employed. It's a two different thing. I'm going to be giving you the understanding about what self-employed is all about, because you must be able to see that too from a different lens. A self-employed is a total different game. But before we go to self-employed, another thing again I want us to understand when it comes to a professional is the fact that three things is the fact that they build strong reputation and personal brand. Your influencers, for instance, they are literally professionals. They are professional influencers. Obviously, they are quack influencers also. They are fly-by-night influencers and stuff. But they are individual. It has nothing. And I'm going to show you on the second one, which is going to be self-employed, what a self-employed look like and what a professional look like. So that you then begin to ask yourself, how then do I need to transit from this place to this place? I'll try as much as possible with the time I have to be able to explain the transition process in each of these one for you to get to the final points which I'm going to be talking about. So number one is the fact that in terms of the opportunity, they build strong reputations and also personal brand. Number two is the fact that they transition into consulting, teaching, and training. For example, you will hear names like I'm trying to think here. Good, I can bring at the moment now. The popular man we know, Vusit Mbekwayo. Personally, as a person, is a brand. So Vusit Mbekwayo has a business, he's a businessman, he's a VC, he has all of those things. But if you are going to invite Vusit Mbekwayo to come to your conference as a speaker or as a trainer, so he also operates as a professional within the communication space of things, but he also has his VCs. I think he has a My Growth Fund company and all of those very particular companies that he also has. But as a person, he is a consultant. As a person, he is a professional in that very particular space. And also, the other opportunity that a professional have is the fact that they start creating intellectual properties, which means the ability for them to produce book, do courses. When you see all of those people who do courses online, just know that these are professional people. As long as their course that they are doing is just their face alone, you can't find 2 or 3, 5, 7, 10 people doing varieties of course in that place, then they are professional. A place where you can say, okay, fine, it's not a professional space, but even though it's a career setting, you can actually look that from a standpoint of an enterprise or a business. It will be something like your Udemy, your Coursera, and all of those very particular guys. It's because that place, it's not a face, it's not a name. I mean, it's not a face, it's not a name of a person, it's just a company name that they are using to offer services or rendering opportunities for people to be able to get e-learning across the globe. I hope you understand this. So which means a professional is this, is someone trained in a specific field, either a doctor, a lawyer, engineer, designer, editor, cinematographers, cameraman, all of those things that you see around your space. Those are our professionals. Now, how does a professional, move from one space into the next space? Is something I'm going to be talking before this very particular show come to an end. So number two, quickly, because I'm pressed for time. Number two, who are the people that we see on these 5 cadres is the self-employed. Now, I know you will say, okay, what's the difference between professional and self-employed? We're going to look into self-employed. Then you will now use your church mind, like they say it in Nigeria, to be able to edit between a professional and a self-employed so that you see what they do. So now, for a self-employed person work for themselves. They are freelancer, consultant, or a small practice owner. They engage in time skills for money, but manage their own operations. Mark the word, they manage their own operations. So which means they have people that are within their space. They, for example, a self-employed can be, let me use the word a Darlington, for instance. I can say, okay, fine, Darlington, I'm freelancing, I'm doing this very particular stuff, but all of that, I have people who are coming together to make my work very easy. So yes, you bring me, you consult me to do the job, but I give the job to people for them to do it. In the words of Nigeria, you will call them the middleman, where they go collect contract, and the middleman is a lot in Nigeria. That's how our road is not working. Now, Joko, Nigeria, people are now coming for me. Now, what is it? A self-employed person is the one who he goes get the contract. He's self-employed. Gets a contract, for example, I want to build this house. It's a contractor. It's a consultant. He owns his own practices and stuff. I get the job, but I have an Echo. I have a Nadi. I have a Charlotte. I have all of the people that is around my space and co. And so I say, okay, fine. These are the things we're going to deploy. The person doing business with me do not know the people I have around me. So all they know is just Darlington. They don't know that there are a team behind my side that makes the work very easy and stuff. But guess what? The thing that you must understand between the professional and the self-employed is this. The professional do the job. The self-employed get somebody to do the job. But even at that, it's just a small business. Because all we need to do is, you want to, do graphic design. I collect the graphic design. I don't design it. I give it to my team. My team design it. You want to do a billboard. I collect the contract of a billboard. I give the graphic designer. He designs the stuff, take it to my printing guys. They print it. Do you notice that I'm not the one who is doing that? I just put people and stuff and everything. After that, go mount your graphics. Your billboard at Wuse 2 or Lukugoma or probably in something or maybe somewhere around Kyalami. Because why? I'm a self-employed, but I have people who is working around my space. That's the huge difference between a professional and a self-employed. And so as we begin to go into deep and for us to see what's the difference is the fact that they own and manage their own income, generating it within the system that he has put in place. One of the focus is the fact that it controls independence and direct service delivery. We must also see that some of the key advantages is the fact that they have power over time. They can tell you, we will deliver this very particular thing in 1 week, or I will deliver it in 1 week. Because why? He knows that within his team and the people he has put in place, they all can come together for them to be able to arrange these things properly. And so he can tell you, point blank, no, don't worry, I'll get this thing done in 1 week for you. But guess what? He is literally a self-employed. Chances are, in terms of marketing and his strategy and how he's going to go about it and the income he's going to bring, it's totally dependent on the delivery of his services. So which means if he can't bring business in for the business, he is going to suffer. His staff is going to suffer. Now, the staff, he doesn't bother, for example, a self-employed, he is the marketing manager, brand consultant. All of those very particular things put together because why? That is exactly what helps him. That's exactly what helps him. So the advantage that you can find is the fact that his pricings and also the clients that he has been able to amass to come to his business. Now, when you look at self-employed and the next part I'm going to be bringing into, they also have a bit of a similarity, which I'm going to be showing you the similarities in each. But at the end of the day, you will get to see, and my own prayer for you is the fact that you move from not just being a professional or just being a self-employed, but to get to this very particular point number 3 that I'm going to be mentioning. So you must be able to understand that they also have limitations. And one of the limitations is the fact that they still trade time for money. They still trade time for money. So which means if they are not there in the business, if they are not overseeing the people, making sure that these people are doing stuff. The man, for example, let's say he gives the graphic designer, he has to be on the graphic designer's head. You know, you need to be able to deliver. Have you taken the print? Have you given it to this person? Blah, blah, blah. Say they are still fully involved. If you find yourself still fully involved in your business, you are either a professional or you're self-employed. Literally. You're either a professional or self-employed. But this thing about, I think before I even go there, let me just look at something that I wanted to just share about quickly before we talk about the point number 3. Is the fact that the opportunity that they carry is the fact that number 1, they build client base. And also they have a brand visibility. Number 2 is the fact that they develop a reputation system and also a service model. And number 3, they also transition into business owner by hiring or sourcing. Like I said to you, they hire and they source. They get a contract, get everybody to do the job. If you notice, they literally do not. And sometimes one of the things also I've noticed with self-employed is this fact that, and self-employed has this mindset where they feel that because they are doing their business, they all of a sudden they now become a business owner. A business owner is a totally different ballgame, and you will see what a business owner is all about. You must understand that a self-employed, funny enough, this is one thing to get with self-employed that is very interesting within the Nigerian ecosystem of things. Is the fact that a self-employed may literally be the one in his office alone, not doing the job, but he has everybody outside who is given the job to do. So maybe the only thing that he has in his office is just him and his secretary. or she and he or her secretary in front, but yet contracts are coming to that very particular place, and the next minute he is now disbursing, or the person is disbursing that very particular contract for other people to do the thing. Then at the end of the day, he go fix the thing, brand himself. That's why they can also brand their business. They can't brand their business. But now let's look at the point number 3, which is very important, which I actually want to look, because many of us get to this very particular point. 1, 2, 3 is easy for us to play. 4, 5 is where the problem is. And I'm only just hoping, because even myself too, literally, I can tell you point blank, I'm pushing my brain for me to be able to play into the place of your 4 and 5. I can tell you point blank, I'm also on number 3. But have I been able to push myself? And that's why some of the decisions and the actions I'm taking is because I want to be able to do the business in such a way whereby it doesn't need me. To be fair enough, it doesn't need me. And I think I've tried it with a model in South Africa currently where the thing is going on and you don't need me, and that's it. But at least for the Nigerian thing, I'm still here. And that's what the difference is. I'm still here, so I have to still do it the way I need to do it. So you must understand that point number 3, as I said, point number 1, they are professionals. They are your professional doctor, professional, lawyer, professional decent stuff. Point number 2, they are self-employed. They employ themselves, get contract, disburse the contract for people to do it, and literally they don't have any system and funnels that control. So which means it is based on client walking in or the client reputation that they've been able to build. Now, point number 3 that we're going to be looking into is what I call the business owners. Who are the business owners? So you must understand that the business owners, this is what separates all of this with the business owner, is the fact that they build systems that works for them. Point number 1, which is professional, they have no system. They just walk in. That's why if you want to go meet your optometrist and stuff, whatever what that name is, the ones who take care of eye. The reason why I have to use that word is because my eye is beginning to see men as trees. so that's why you're going to see your optician. I think that's the name I'm looking for. Yeah, you go to see your opticians and stuff. You go there, you meet your optician, do your thing, you get out, and that's all. But the optician also can literally be a self-employed, because why? You go there. This is how optician you can play between professional and self-employed with optician. You go there, the optician look at you, put those funny things that makes you look like some things that is coming from Mars and all of those things. At the end of the day, they don't manufacture the glass or the prescription that your glass is going to have. They take it and they give it to somebody else. And later, when you are coming to get the thing, you go back to that very particular place to get it, because the optician must put it in your eye. Is it fine? Are you seeing men as trees? Is the tree gone? And all of those very particular things. But now for a business owner, an optician who wants to become a business owner must be able to build systems. A system that literally, even though that business owner literally will be able to leave the business will not even die. So which means that business owner or the optician now begin to employ more opticians that is in the business of I don't call it optometrist business. The English is not just coming together. But the professional people who literally do eyes. For example, you will see business, whereby all their business they do, you meet over more than 20 doctors, all of them. I think there's this thing we have in South Africa. It's called Netcare. Netcare literally, it's a medical organization where any doctor you want to see, they are all there. So the owner of Netcare, they've come together whereby they started from being a professional to being a self-employed. Then they now begin to create a system where we don't even know the owner, but if you go there, you will literally meet the receptionist, and the receptionist will ask you which doctor do you want to see. Depending on how the doctor is nice, you can then say, okay, you want this very particular doctor. You book your appointment, you pay. Guess what? You don't pay the doctor directly. You pay the receptionist, because why? These very particular people have created a system where you don't need them anymore. If your business still require you for you to be able to make a decision, you are not in a business. You are still a self-employed or a professional. If your team requires you for every 10, your team should be able to at least take 80% of the decisions in your business without you, the owner, in that very particular business. 80%. So what do? They operate an organization, an enterprise with employees, and they put systems and processes. They put system and processes. That's why, for example, I said, I'm here. I know my lane. Or the Nigeria of things. I'm here. So one of their focus is for this efficiency, profitability, and delegations. Like I said, delegating. The contract comes, everybody see the contract, everybody do their own thing. And life moves on. And as the company knows that, okay, fine, we don't need boss to be able to say they want to do this thing. We've worked so well to the point that we can understand what boss can think of or not. We know that, okay, fine, Oga will need 1, 2, and 3. Does that mean that the founder or probably the business owner is not sitting in that company? He is in the company, but a lot of the decision does not come to him anymore. He's been able to put, for lack of a better word, a solid operating system that by the time a client walk in, by the time the client is going to leave the other side, literally the product is in the client's hand. One of the only way we can look at it, let's look at it on a face value. It's like, pardon me, I'll call the name. I don't know if it's in Nigeria, but if it's Nigeria, that's good. McDonald's, for instance. Do you know that with McDonald's, for those of you who do drive-through, with McDonald's, by the time you enter into McDonald's for you to get your burger, you get to the first window, the person asks you, what do you want? You said, okay, fine, McFix Deluxe, spicy, extra D's. And it's just me telling you my favorite McDonald's. It's McFix Deluxe. Can't wait to have it again. I don't know how I got there, but it's okay. I've missed it. McFist. Then guess what? The moment you make that very particular order, you make your payment. The next window you are going to is the window for collection. And after then, you are driving out. The person who take that very particular order is the different person who is going to give you the order that you are going to take out of it. Because why? They have operated the system. Now, let's say now you are going to the other window where you would have to take your fix the locks for you to go out. It's very interesting where you get to find out that the person who is actually doing the, what's it called, doing the party and all of those very particular things at that kitchen there, they are all different. They see the order, pop, everybody pick their own thing. Okay, by the time you drive from the window where you make payment and to this window, Baba, you are collecting your things, you are going. Maximum, I think I was told that maximum 3.5 minutes, you are out. I think it is KFC that takes you 7 minutes. Then white Burger King takes you somewhere around 4 or 5 minutes also. Then your Wimpy will take you somewhere around 7 to 11 minutes. Then while your Tashas and all of those very particular big organizations and co will take you somewhere around 15, 20 minutes, especially depending on what you are asking. But guess what? The owner of Tashas is not there. The owner of McDonald's is not there. The owner of Burger King is not there. They don't need the owner to be sitting in that very particular place because why? They've been able to put a system that works for them. So do you see that if you're looking at your business currently now and you are wondering, okay, am I a self-employed? Am I a professional or I am a business owner? So these three will make you see the difference. That, okay, as a professional, you did everything. Chances are even a professional, you are the accountant, the managing director, everything, you know. I think let me just say this one. This is just a caveat for you to be able to, especially for those who are self-employed and professionals. You can make your business look so well to the point that, and this is me wanting to beg Nigeria, please stop using Gmail as a professional email address. That is wrong. Please stop it. Doesn't make sense. You're running a company. Even though you are a professional person or you're a self-employed, you are running a company. Go get a domain name. For example, Echo Consultancy. Or probably you get a, there's no probability, get a domain name. It's as simple as that. You can't be sending us an email, the next one you are seeing at gmail.com or at Yahoo. Do people still use Yahoo? Yeah. At yahoo.com. Echo is nothing inside. Or at Hotmail. Well, I still am guilty. I still have Hotmail. But I don't use that as my professional email. I use that as just, well, passerby, some certain things. But guess what? Get a domain name. Whether you are a professional, whether you are a self-employed or a business owner, get a domain. See, there's something that does to the credibility of your business. It shows that, now guess what? If you can't pay $45 for a domain name, you can't pay $45. In fact, no, I think that is, I don't want to mention the company name currently, that they advertise it on YouTube. With low as 3,000 Naira, you can literally get a domain name and an email address. Get one. So by the time you're sending your email out, you're sending your email as echo@echoconsulting.com. And not you just sending echo at Gmail. Sometimes when I see those things, I get angry personally because, hear me, those things also count. And now for those of you who are literally looking for funding from established firm, one of the things they literally look out for is your email. I can tell you point blank because I play in that field. In fact, sometimes when you even go on their online for you to fill their questionnaires and they ask you for your email, the moment they see, they've been able to program their algorithm where if he sees at Yahoo, at Hotmail, at Webmail, at all of these things, it's not going to answer. It wants to see a name and your domain name, then you see the thing will tick and tell you verified. Now, see, people are changing. Change. I think it is Nigeria here, especially in Abuja. I don't want to mention that company, literally close to the radio station, Asokoro. I look, anytime I pass that place, the only thing that is on my eye is the Gmail. Gmail annoys me. I don't know why. See, I know you are starting. You can't be asking somebody to pay 1 million naira for a property, for a rental, and you don't have a domain name. Please, I beg you, go and get a domain name. No matter, that thing is not that expensive. Literally, if you want me to give you 1 million for something, domain name, I bet you, it's not even 5% of the total 1 million. So invest in your name and get something working. So now, as we begin to go, let's look at the key advantages. The fact that income dependence from daily work. One of their limitation is the fact that the risk of stagnation of innovation stops them. I think I remember the reason why I'm saying this is I remember with my team, I was sitting with them, I think it was on Monday or Tuesday if I remember, and I was even saying to them that, okay, as I'm going to be away, before I come back and stuff, is because I have team where we need to innovate something. We need to come out with system. We need to come up with strategy. But guess what? I'm going away and code. They are going to be in the office and stuff, and they are going to be doing whatever they need to do. Because at the end of the day, we need to be proactive. We need to come up with systems and strategy. We need to be able to say, okay, what is the innovation that we need to deploy in making sure that we don't just remain the same or find method and stuff. If you notice, all of that thinking is not literally sitting in my head. I remember playing with mindset and ideas and stuff, and I put it on paper and I sent it to them. As I'm going, and I remember, I think Echo sent me a message on that very particular full day. I'm like, that was fast. Because I know it takes, I'm like, I calm down. Well, guess what? After I gave him what I need him to do and stuff, I did not even ask him because I needed to take their time so that by the time we come back, they present the stuff for me. I see what is happening. Now, those are system of a business. I'm not sitting with them for us to be able to brainstorm that stuff, but they are going to come up with innovative ways on how to make sure that the company visions, its mission statements, its brand, its product, its services, and the kind of customers and clients we want to attract, all of that, they will sit themselves, factor all of it into the innovations or the product that we want to bring out. And after them, we go and we shoot. That's business. That's why I tell you point blank, I am in number 3. So you must understand that innovation is literally what drives business owner. And so sometimes, and let's look at the opportunities that these very particular business owners they carry, so that we can then begin to see a way of how to earn. There are opportunities. Number one, they diversify into other industries and product. Like what I was saying to you. There's a particular place we want to enter into. We want to come up with some certain concept. And you will see that I don't want to leak it out at the moment. We want to come up still on the same vision, AfriOne, which is unite, innovate, elevate, still on it. But at least we want to come up with another different product entirely to still communicate that. Not just the podcast side of things or this very particular one I'm doing. No. We still have the radio on, which is currently at Armed Forces Radio 107.7 every Wednesday by 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. We still have that. We still have the one that you are watching currently now, which is the one we do from 11 o'clock, and chances are very soon is going to become a daily show. We're working towards that, and I'm trying as much as possible for me to see how to make that to become a reality and all of that. Now, we still have that. We still have the podcast that we're doing, which you all watch on YouTube currently and all of those things. But even at that, we need to come up with another different product again to still find a way to communicate the global vision of things, which is making Africa, AfriOne, become an Africa gift to the world in terms of business entry into the continent. Now, that's our big framework we're looking into. So, which means every diaspora who wants to do business in Africa must be able to say, okay, fine. By the time we go on YouTube, go on Google and stuff, by the time they search at least top 10, they should find AfriOne in there to say, let's consult with these guys. Let's see. That's business. That's business. If we have to go online and we're searching and you're not sitting at top 10 in that very particular profession or that very particular space you are handling, you're not in a business. You are just a self-employed, or probably you are a professional. Because we must be able to search, I will find you top 10. Do me a favor, the industry where you're currently working, go there, put it on Google, search who are the top 10 players in that place. If you don't find your name there, you have work to do. You have work to do. You can even be kind enough to say top 50. And if you still don't find your name there, for me, I'm a top 10 guy. So that's why, because of that, the way I put pressure on my mind to say, man, we must get there. Top 10, we must get there. So, like I said, they diversify into other industries and products. Number 2 is franchise and automation operation, which is they can come up with a bit of a franchise system. whereby to say, okay, fine, take like what we're doing in Nigeria. It's currently there in South Africa. We're trying to do in Nigeria. The same model also want to do in what you call Rwanda, Kenya, Namibia. These are places whereby we're already having conversations that's currently going on, because why? We've gotten to the point whereby we're business, so that when we create that system, somebody business who comes into AfriOne, Abuja, Nigeria, wants to do a business with AfriOne, but they want to enter through AfriOne to get into South Africa. There is a business of AfriOne in South Africa that we can then use that funnel to enter into that place. Now, let me even say this to bankers. I feel like calling your name. I'll call your name, Access Bank. Please, I don't understand you people. Your systems are not centralized. That's not a business. That's a problem. I remember walking into Access Bank. I wanted to do something. I think when I came into the country, yes, I needed to change my documentation and all of those things. Did the documentation in Lagos. I was trying for them to be able to do update for me here in Abuja. It was shocking. Access Bank, please hear me. I still bank with you guys. I don't have a problem. But hear me, your systems are not centralized. It is quite crazy and shocking for me to hear that Access Bank was busy telling me that, no, the server of Lagos. I say, are you okay? Then it's as good as me putting money in Lagos and not being able to withdraw it in Abuja. Like, I don't understand. And guess what? They literally sent me to go back to Lagos for me to go finish. I was paid till date. I have not done that thing. I promise you, finger crossed, I'm not lying. So Access Bank, if you are watching me, I'm in Abuja currently. I'm calling your name, centralized your system. And if you are a bankers, make sure that all your banks are centralized. One bank that I know that is very centralized in what they do, they call them Stanbic IBTC. Those guys, their integrity, they have lived a life of integrity to the point that Standard Bank has to come on board with them. Standard Bank noticed that these guys are not afraid. They keep to their word, their profit margins, and all their client relation. And it was, when I was opening an account with Stanbic IBTC, I promise you, it was shocking. In 5 minutes, I was in and out. No paperwork. I say, Nigeria, wow. But there are some certain banks that when you go there, the paper you will feel. You'll be like, what the hell? Am I writing thesis for what? See, bankers, hear me. We are living in a digitalized economy or industry. Try to start limiting paper and get to the point where there is no paper at all. That doesn't include money. Because currently now, this POS business that people go and collect cash all the time. I understand that there is a lot of the markets that people will still need cash to buy and all of those things. But we can then be able to industrialize Nigerian market system where, for example, the POS can literally be with that woman who is on the street there selling tomatoes. And also the POS charges, guys, you guys find a way of also reducing your charge, but at the same time, expand the reach of your business. OP, I'm calling your name. Money Points, I'm calling your name. I don't know if Pampe has POS stuff, but I know OP and Pampe. Okay, I was told that they also have Pampe. Now, do me a favor. Try to make sure that you go into these smaller organizations or these smaller people on the road. South Africa, we have it. It's called Yoko. So don't think that what you are doing in Nigeria is a big thing. It's called Yoko. We have Yoko. We have Ikoka. What's the name of this third one? Because I know I have Ikoka and Yoko. I've forgotten this third one. But I think there are about 5 players currently now in that place where you don't go to the street to buy something and you are giving cash there on the street. That woman has her Yoko. She will just remove her Yoko. In fact, she even put the Yoko. Some of the, you women can be very interesting. One of the women I wanted to buy something for, I will not forget, I was for lack of a better word, in an open market in South Africa. And the woman literally from here just removed her Yoko from this side. I'm like, okay. By the time the woman bring the Yoko, she was like, sir, can you please punch your pin? I gave her my pin to punch myself because I'm like, I don't know where that thing is coming out from. I gave her the pin. I said, punch it. Because it was coming out here. And when the thing come out here, the Yoko, that small machine, the thing was sweaty. And she said, I should punch my pin. I said, madam, take my card. I gave her. I said, punch it. She punch it. By the time I was collecting back my card and stuff from my hand, I hold paper. Collect the card, sanitize the card back, then put it in my wallet. Because I'm like, I don't understand what's going on here. But guess what? I'm saying all of that with joke in terms of, because I'm paying more attention on the business side. Please, the fintech organizations, Pampe, Yoko, Ope, all of you guys who they call Pay, you know yourself, decentralize the stuff so that it's not just going to be us who wants to buy something, then we have to go to POS guys to get cash. They now go to this place. Make it easy for this very particular, the malam who is selling yam on the road. That's what you call Kudirat who is selling tomatoes on the street. Should be able to have that very particular thing. I'd say, see, let me even say this, no monthly fee. But you have a minimum charges that is coming to them. They can buy that thing once off. for like, let's say, I don't know, whatever the amount is, but once off, then all you charge them is just literally monthly fee. I mean, what's it called? Transactions. And you leave it. I can tell you point blank in South Africa, it's all about monthly transactions we do. We don't do monthly fees because why? At the end of the day, I bought the stuff. It is my thing. So if I like, I do business with it. If I don't make money, the day I carry it back and I say, okay, fine, let me own this thing, let me pay something or let me buy something with it, it still works. And you take your 0.1% of whatever you want to do. That's just an idea with you guys. But Access Bank, I've not forgotten you guys. Centralize your portal. I cannot want to update something and you tell me from Abuja, go back to Lagos because that's where you do. It doesn't make sense. And I'm using Access Bank as a point of contact to all the banks. Centralize. And also be like Stanbic IBTC. Let's begin to shift our mindset to begin to get into the paperless side of things. And for MTN, I don't know why I'm coming for all of you guys. For MTN also, stop snapping people's finger as a medium of thumbprint. I don't know how you do that too, but it does not make sense. Stop snapping people's finger. It doesn't make sense. Bring something where we put our thumbprint and you read us. Snapping this thing does not make sense. Then all of a sudden you have my finger there. As to how you guys do it, it's your business. Point number 4, because my time is literally going off. I have 15 minutes to end this. Point number 4. Remember we've talked about professionals, which is people who are like your doctors, your editors, and all of those things, the professionals. They are the alpha, omega, everything of their business. We have a self-employed. You're self-employed, they go get the business and stuff, but at the same time, they give other people who are self-employed to do this stuff. Why they collect the money? If they are not there, the business also doesn't make sense. Then we have the business owner, whereby the business come into it. The owner literally doesn't oversee. He's been able to put system. And they literally grow as a business owner based on innovation. Now, number 4, which is almost similar to business owner, but this is where the caveat is known as the entrepreneurs. I know this is what I use. Everybody, no, I'm an entrepreneur. Now, let's look at what entrepreneur is. Because some of you are literally not entrepreneur. You are just a survival business. And for some of you, literally, you are just an opportunist. You're not a business owner. You're not an entrepreneur. You are not a professional. You are just an opportunist. What is an opportunist? An opportunist is somebody who knows that this is the problem. Let me meet the needs. And after then, when another new problem come again, you're an opportunist. During COVID, for instance, everybody was selling masks. It was a problem. People were selling masks. You feel that, okay, there is a mask sale. You go there, you start selling masks. COVID is off now. We can't find you again anymore. That's not a business. That's an opportunist. You are just an opportunism. Opportunism. You know what I mean. You just see that opportunity, that moment you do it. But this is what differentiates this top 3 from this entrepreneur. An entrepreneur identifies opportunity, solves the problem, and builds scalable ventures that impact market or the society. E.g., who is an entrepreneur? E-hailing. They saw a problem of transportation, whether it is boat, Uber, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, Uber. Both Uber, both Taxify. Whether it is Uber, whatever, that's the 2 major ones. They saw the problem of, guess what? This is what the thing is. It was not based on an event that happened that literally brought them in. They saw the gap and decide to make a solution into that very particular place. That's an entrepreneur. Another person again who is an entrepreneur, Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg saw the gap of social distancing. People are not sociable and stuff while he was still in school, and create a model around it to the point that up till now we've not recovered from it. Google. Now, if you notice what I'm saying, if you check all these names I'm mentioning, 5 years before they come into the picture, there were nothing of such like that literally existed. There were nothing of such. Before Uber and Bolt came into the picture, were there an e-hailing service? No. They saw it. My question to you, as somebody who says you're an entrepreneur, what have you seen that you are currently solving? What have you seen? You must see something, solve that very particular thing, and create a system around it. Without you, then that make you an entrepreneur. So which means they innovate, take risk, and create multiple streams of income on that very particular space. Let's go back to Bolt and Uber. Now, do you know that for Bolt, for example, they have, no, let me use Uber because Uber has the name stand in my head. Uber, for example, they have the transportation side of things, whereby they take you from one place to another. Then they now have the cargo side of it. They now have the Uber Eats. They have, why? Because it's an enterprise, and they've been able to find a way of creating different streams of income from that very particular stuff. How many streams can you be able to pull out from your business that you're currently doing currently? And in pulling that very particular streams, who are the people that you have put in it to solve the problem that you have found? Let me say this. If, for example, on the property space of guys, if you go into property side and all of a sudden you are still building house, you are just a business owner, you are not an entrepreneur. Because why? You have not located a unique proper problems that you are currently solving. And that problem must last long enough to the point that people constantly need the service of that. Do you know, for example, that was I say opportunism is different from a business owner and an entrepreneur. COVID is gone. People are not buying face mask that much. So which means you can't hold that as a business. You can't call that an entrepreneurship skills. I say this because you must be able to look at which level in which you are and begin to ask yourself, how do I move from being a professional to a self-employed, from a self-employed to a business owner, from a business owner to now an entrepreneur? You must be able to come up with that very particular mindset. Now, what is the advantage of an entrepreneur is the fact that they have high scalability and potential for wealth creation. High scalability. They can scale, they can move. For us as AfriOne, our potential, this is my nest in terms of me. I need to scale this very particular business. I need to bring in people where if I'm not there, Echo is not there, or whatever the team, the business does not need us, but yeah, the team must work. The ability for them to say, okay, fine, well, let's look at what Kenya is doing. Let's begin to put Kenyan's kind of solution and bring it into Nigerian kind of solution and also find a way of merging that very particular reality. And entrepreneurs literally all they look for, they sit down and they look at what are the gaps that we can be the captain, the wayfarer of that very particular space and solve the problem immediately. For example, currently now, this is me on the property side. The ability for you to build a durable homes is a problem. It's a problem. The ability for you to build a durable roads, they are a problem. You can literally look at it and create something out of the road industry. Come up with a system of payment and say, we are going to fix the road that is in Lokogoma, fix the one that is in Garki, fix the one that is in Kubo and whatever. And we create a system whereby the people living in that place can be paying us instrumentally. If they don't pay instrumentally, we put our mopo and our mopo will be able to extract the money. Guess what? You are creating business. That's why for me, I say this all the time. When I look at my Nigeria, there is opportunity flying every corner. But we need investors for us to be able to pull out some of these things because they are literally heavy cash. For a business, for an entrepreneur, it's a heavy cash stuff. I think I was listening to Human Rights Radio, I come in. I think his name is called Ordinary President. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's Ordinary President. Yeah, Ordinary President. I was listening to him come in and I think he was talking about the Dangote of things. And this is me now. Let me even just put this very particular one of the Dangote of things now. That's because he's the trending person currently. So he was talking about the Dangote of things. And currently now the Pegasus and all of these guys are fighting Dangote and blah, blah, blah. You know the story. Let's not go into it. Now, the next part there, which for me, I don't believe. Hear me, Nigerians. Nigerians, all of us, including me, patronize that man. The reason why you're having problem is because you're not the one who built that refinery. If you're the one who built the refinery, you will do what he's doing. Between now and then, and stop joining social media to be shouting, hey, no, why is he monopolizing the industry? Why is it this and this and that? All those things, those are poverty mindset. You are just being poor. Let me call it, you are poor. Because if you open your business, you will do everything for you to be able to, what you call, minimize costs and maximize profit. He's just a businessman. If you have a problem with Dangote, please, all of you, including Pengasin, I don't care. If you have a problem with Dangote, go build a refinery. Try it and let's see if you succeed. Build a refinery. Government, you bringing up policies to frustrate the man. Repair the NNPC in Port Harcourt. Repair the one in Kaduna. Repair all of these things and co. And please, politicians, stop having your own depot. You are a public worker. Stop. I'm not mentioning name more. But if you know yourself, wear the shoe where it fits. Stop having your own depot. Focus on the government that will put you into it and do the job for us. You are fighting on stuff that is private people's individual, using public resources to do that very particular thing. And tomorrow, you will increase my tax to 25% because even 20 now, we don't even know it's going to balance it. Hear me. Patronize Dangote. He didn't pay me for advice. A people who are called independent, what association of petroleum, you know your name, I don't know that name. All of that, those are just wicked people who are trying to make the average Nigerian suffer. And hear me, if you have your own trailers or your own trucks, call Dangote office, go there and collect your petrol. This world we live is an open market. Don't allow some organizations to be. Do you know that when you go through those, I call them those secret court agenda, you are actually feeding the minority, empowering them to constantly come up with policy to make you subjugate to the abject poverty that they want to push out. Ignore it. Now that's one side. Then secondly, I think Ahmed, ordinary president, was talking about this. I understand where he was coming from. It's the fact that I think Dangote has also applied that he wants to get Ajaokuta steel. And now the problem there is the fact that he is saying, and the content is out there, you can go watch it. He is saying that no, Dangote must not get Ajaokuta steel, blah, 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 because he should just focus on his petroleum and co. I understand, because obviously he's trying to decentralize the whole power thing so that he doesn't have the more power, but he can then control everybody and co. I understand, but let's call a spade a spade. How many people is offering to buy Ajaokuta steel? So just because people are not coming out, and he said something which is very interesting. You see, whether you loot the money or you steal it or it's a legalized money and co, just go and buy a Ajaokuta steel so that it's not Dangote that owns it again. But the truth of it is the fact, how many of you have that liquid cash sitting down? But if nobody is buying it, should we then sit down and suffer what Ajaokuta steel will be able to do for Nigeria simply because nobody is coming to buy it? The answer is no. So hear me. If Dangote still have the money to buy it, Darlington Steve, I succumb and I agree. My hand of yes means he can buy it. Because at the end of the day, since we are afraid of playing in that field, we shouldn't stop people who want to play in the field now. But between now and then, please patronize Dangote Petroleum. Let him sell. Do you notice that we Nigerians are trying to sabotage him, and literally people from outside are calling him to come and buy, or probably to partner, and so that he can then supply the same petroleum that he got from Nigeria that we're refusing to buy. People outside are calling for him to come. You see, have a problem. We literally have a problem. I'll pause there. Point number 5, because my time is literally running out. Now, this is where I'm praying that all of us get to. Point number 5. Remember, number 1 is professionals. Number 2 is self-employed. Number 3, a business owner. Number 4 are entrepreneurs who look, I like those guys. They locate a problem and they sit there. Your Exton Young, which is a consultant, a finance consulting company, they've located a problem of business and they're literally benchmarking it. So they are entrepreneurs. Your, what you call MTN, they located the problem that people need to talk and they solve it. Your Facebook, which is the metaverse of things, name them. You know all the companies that, there are big companies that you see. 90% of them are entrepreneurs. Now, this is where I'm praying that you and I get into, which is the last point, is the fact that it's known as the founders. You know, the founders, you see, this is, let me read it the way I put it down. The founders build something that exists beyond them. A brand, a company, or a movement that operates as an institution. Their legacy is system-driven, not personality-driven. Which means these are guys that they have built something outside of them. Founders. For example, let's look at the African National Congress, which is known as the ANC. It's a movement. It's a political party. It was founded by your likes of Walter Sisulu, the old Govan Mbeki, Thabo Mbeki's father. Those men. People think that it was Nelson Mandela who founded ANC. No, Nelson Mandela was just a party member who was a lawyer, who is brave and sharp, and literally says this thing. Nelson Mandela did not found ANC, which is the African National Congress. Let's be honest, how many political parties in Nigeria that was founded by the people, that political party doesn't need the people who found it to still operate? Nelson Mandela is gone, but the ANC is still standing. We have your company like KFC. KFC has gotten to the point whereby the founders of KFC are no more there. They have built a system, built a franchise system where KFC is scattered across the nations of the earth. McDonald's, the same thing. You can also find that with MTN, the same thing. Orange, the same thing. Name it, what is again? Facebook, obviously. Mark Zuckerberg is a founder where he doesn't need to be the CEO of Facebook Nigeria. No, he's a founder who has founded the thing, and as a CEO running that very particular stuff. That's the truth. I think on Femi Otedola's book, he was talking about how he had to fire himself and get a CEO on all of his businesses that he was doing. And literally, he was just a founder. Chances are, I'm doing this very particular recording, Mr. Femi Otedola, chances are he's sitting in one island sipping moe. Or I don't know if he drinks moe, I'm just saying. So you people just have to be careful. These things. I don't know. I'm not saying he drinks so. But he should be somewhere now. But guess what? His business is going. Founders. What is the advantage of a founder? Is the fact that the advantage is that they have true freedom. The system generates impact and wealth independency for them. Number 2 is the fact that they have created legacy, long-term influence, where outside of them, the business cannot die. And yet they have a particular high stake in their business. In fact, funny enough, with founders, chances are the IP of the company belongs to them, which is most times is literally 10 to 15% of that whole company. So regardless of all the stakeholders that is in a company, everywhere Facebook have a presence, there's a particular percentage that goes straight to Mark Zuckerberg's account. Facebook Nigeria pays Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook Kenya, Tanzania, name all of that. That's why I'm saying to you that my prayer for you who is a professional, you grow, not just getting to the point where you're just a professional, you grow to become a self-employed. From a self-employed, you get to the point where you become a business owner. From a business owner, you create a system, which is as an entrepreneur, where you look and locate a product and you use that to create an ecosystem that then makes you out of the business, where you end up becoming a founder. Haven't you noticed, you hear the guy like Richard Branson, I think that's his name, or Virgin Active or something like that, the Virgin guy, let me just use the word. The man is just busy going every on holiday. Guess what? His Virgin hotels and Virgin everything that he's doing are literally paying the monies for him. One of the things you need to understand about the opportunity of a founder is the fact that they have built generational wealth and legacy, influence policies, industries and culture, established foundation, investment fund, and global franchise. When you hear what you call Gates Foundation, those are founders. He found Microsoft. He retired actively from Microsoft. It's now Gates Foundation. And yet he's the founder. There's no way you go and search Google. You will hear founder of Microsoft, but not the CEO of Microsoft. Pepsi, the same thing. MTN, the same thing. Name all this brand, Nike, Reebok, all of these brands that you and I, we are wearing. The founders, chances are they are not there. But yet the business is still bringing profit. My time is up. I think maybe next time that we're going to be coming on board, we're going to be talking about how then do you, and this is what I'm going to encourage you, how do you scale from being a professional to being self-employed, to be a business owner, to be an entrepreneur, and also to be a founder. You must understand this, that, let me even just say this. Disadvantage of founders, let me say it so that we begin to think about it. There are three. Number one, it requires strong governance, leadership, and structure, which means the structure that you are going to put, let me use the word as a founder, you have to be like God. When I mean God, the creator of the universe. Do you know that he created everything and he handed it over to man and he is sitting? Who is the founder of earth? It's God. Oh. But that's why I tell people that no. So somebody was arguing with me. So literally God can just be in heaven. You Chris, I don't understand. God can be in heaven and the earth is decaying. He's not having any problem. I said because he knows the staff is employed. That yes, the company may be having trouble by now, but he knows that somebody will come out of that company and they will solve the problem. And the Bible makes us clear to understand. I said the earth has he given to the children of men. So if the earth is having problem, it is us to be blamed. It's not God. Because from the system in which he has created, and he has put the system down, he doesn't need. And guess what? There is a particular passage whereby the Bible says, it says, I honor my word more than my name, which means he has put a system that at the mention of the word or at the mention of the name, everything bows without him being there. Imagine 1 billion people calling the name of God, and yet he is not appearing physically to that 1 billion people. It is system. I was saying to somebody the other day, I said, miracle is a system. And the person looked at me and said, what do you mean? I said, a miracle is a system. So there's a way you raise your faith. All of the miracles you will ever need in life, they are all there. God is not creating miracle. Let's get this one straight too. I know this will put me in trouble, but that's fine. That's why they call me the Afropolitan Apostle. God is not creating any miracle at the moment. Every miracle has already been completed in Christ Jesus. Nothing is creating. Whether somebody who gave birth to triplet after 20 years of being, the system has been created in such a way by, if you are here, what you will get in this very particular place is based on your faith. You can grow your faith, get yourself into the system where when you believe God for some certain thing, this level will provide you that thing that you are looking for. So nothing God has created, everything has been created. All. God is rested. Jesus is rested. The only person that is at work is the Holy Spirit, who is constantly reminding you of the things that has been finished in Christ Jesus, so that you grow your faith to be able to put that realm that you are looking for. I say this because I know that some of you are my religious Christianity will come for me. God is not creating no new miracles. It is also discovering God daily. Your faith literally is the thing that brings the reality. And so to bring the founder side of things, a founder will put everything in place. And all you just need to do is to grow, to enjoy that privileges that that very particular organizations carry. I'll stop here. If you have any question you want to ask, you can use the number that is currently available on the screen. If you want to come for consulting from AfriOne network of things in terms of business processing, maybe your business is in a particular level and you are saying, I don't know how to scale from where I am to the next place. I need you to help me, blah, 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 all those things. Please use the number for you to be able to call and you will schedule your appointment and I'll be able to sit with you and let's look at your business. Hear me, distance not an issue. We can literally do virtual. So you can be in Tanzania and I'm in South Africa and we will literally have the consulting at a time that is going to be suitable for you and I. Maybe you have a product you want to advertise on our platform. Please, I want to encourage you. You can definitely also call us and you'll be able to get your product advertised on the Armed Forces Radio of Things every Wednesday using our social media platform and all of the podcast and content that we develop. I remain your host, the Afropolitan Apostle. Bye for now and see you next week, same time, same place, same station. God bless you and also to my team behind the scene, Echo. I appreciate you all. Peace.